So, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, etc. Market analysis. Where are we going? So, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, bell button, like, comment. Also, links below, follow me on socials. I am very active on Twitter in terms of chart analysis, what I'm doing. So if you want to get ahead of the curve, well, there you go. Overall, let's talk about this, Bitcoin. Now, I do get a little bit frustrated what I see on Twitter and on YouTube. I've never known a place, I'll be honest, that is so bearish at support and bullish at resistance. I just cannot fathom it. Cannot fathom it at all, right? But we're going to talk about it in more detail. Now, I will overview and tell you my stance on Bitcoin. I am bullish long term. However, long term could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. However, in my opinion, not financial advice, I think we're done for this year. I personally do not feel we have the minerals. What's coming in the future in terms of a winter, potential further lockdown increases, potential recessions, we're going to go up to the moon. Now, I know I'm already seeing the comments coming in, the flying in, you're already on your keyboard. Fundamental wise, Bitcoin should do well in that situation. It should, but I don't think we're that mainstream yet for that to happen. If that was the case, in March we wouldn't have dumped. Simple as that, right? If that was the case, we would have had a much bigger rise compared to what we were kind of expecting anyways. In my opinion, I wasn't expecting the rise of the COVID crash, essentially, to create such a big kind of speculative bubble in what is happening. One, the Nasdaq, and two, cryptocurrency. Just one of those things, it happened. No one's really seen that before. So, overall price data is interesting. But we've also got other fundamental straws to tug and pull out. Tether prints have been extremely large. Stimulus checks, furlough schemes, all kinds of stuff like that. Is it inflated? Probably. Are we going to get a big boost? Maybe, if that printer goes brr, and also DeFi, yield farming, and all kinds of stuff happens along with that. So that's my overall stance. Now, another thing I want to mention as well. People think that I just short Bitcoin willy-nilly. I don't. I hold Bitcoin. I hold a lot of it. If I ever do short it, it is with a separate account. I will recommend that to you guys. Separate account into another place where you don't keep a hold of it in terms of like, you don't store it, how much you've got of it. You just keep it away, offline, essentially, from your personal bags, into a hot wallet, either on Binance, Bybit, whatever, if you wanted to trade it, okay? Keep it so you are not harming your entire bag. So in terms of that, let's crack on with the analysis, because in my honest opinion, if you are looking at that and you're thinking this is incredibly bullish, well, I'm going to put a doubt in your mind. We've formed here, in my opinion, a potential top. That is at 12,500 levels. Basically, we plugged the previous CME gap, right? Key rule number one, tick. We have formed a lower high here. 12k rejection, tick. Now, we have also formed another lower high here at 11k, but I feel we're going to break this structure and potentially retest here to form another high, essentially, but a lower high to continuate the trend going down. This is my overall analysis. This is what I feel, and this is what I'm seeing. It kind of correlates with a few things. One, Fibonacci. Vitally important you understand this. So if you go from this top level here down to this bottom, we have basically almost by about $3 missed, and well, the confluence is there, this whole level here. That enough is a correction for me. We've obviously corrected a big bearish engulfing candle, but we're still forming a bullish trend in this micro intra-week essentially time frame, if you want to call it that, into month, whatever, where we've dumped, we've corrected up to the 618, we've dumped again, but we're still forming we're still in a bullish trend essentially. We've still got, as you can see here, in this situation here, we've got a higher low, sorry. So it is forming a trend. So this is why I'm feeling not financial advice, that we are going to pop up from this level and go and retest this level. We're either going to go up to the top here and form a double top and reject, and it continues to the downside, or we continue going up, break structure on here and form a high up to this level of resistance, which is 11,300 levels, which is where the structure is, or we go even higher and actually test this top level here, which is roughly around 12k. That is an overall situation where it could be like that. It could be failure here, failure here, failure here, or alternatively, we could just completely fail. This is a rejection from this resistance level, or support, whatever, and it is then formed a flip into resistance, and we go further down. But overall, in terms of targets, right, you've already seen there roughly where we can potentially go in terms of structure, but I feel that 9k will happen at some point in the not too distant future, in my opinion. I think why the 0382 level is here on the overall swing low to swing high. It's kind of simple, really. The next level from there is actually, you know, the bottom area, that's the 786, and in the middle we've got basically 7,200 levels, the 618, give or take, in and around rough sort of regions. Vitally important we understand the whole narrative of that. Bullish trend up, we look like we've turned, in my opinion, we look like we've turned. We could obviously carry on going up because of FOMO and because of idiots basically buying stupid things. That could happen, this is crypto, but overall it's not looking good. But if we're looking at potential downside targets here, and in my opinion, you know, if this does happen, which it could possibly happen, we've also got an extension target here of the 9,100. Now, my extension target isn't fabricated from Fibonacci. It's basically half of this. Simple as that. I just edited a little bit because it has good confluence with target zones. But if this is the case, in my opinion, if this is toast and it is done, that is where we're going, in my opinion. But I feel that we're not done yet. I think we're going to continue this trend up, going up higher, and we may get another bite of this cherry going up, in my opinion. Not financial advice. But if this has rejected and this is the top of this retracement and this is from the new lower high, well, guess what? Down to here, potentially even down to here. Who knows? On the long swing, which does tie in with this level quite nicely, if that is the case. I know people are going to go, no, you're bearish. I'm just realistic. This is just what the chart is saying. This is how I'm analysing it. So that is Bitcoin done. Personally, we've got a nice little bullish candle there. We're holding above support levels. I think we're going to go and retest this, continue this bullish trend going up. Boom. Trending market. Yeah, happy days on the daily time frame. But I think getting into this resistance, I think this is the place where the shorts will be. I think risk reward wise as well, just to give you a pointer on risk reward, I go for pointer big moves. I don't trade that often. I have decent stop losses. I have decent amount of equity. I go for big moves. If I'm looking for a move, it will be from here. And it'll be a very, very small amount of my balance, about 1%, maybe even less than that of total equity. I will be looking to have a stop loss not too far away from this, because I think, you know, risk-wise, it's not worth it. But if that is the case, we can get a huge risk reward even if we go from this level up from here down to this level. But the big level is actually all the way down to here. That is a huge 6-to-1 risk reward. It's worth losing 3% to try and gain 20% essentially. If you add leverage onto that, obviously it changes the dynamic. And if you so wish and you get confident with it, you can obviously add to your position in certain levels and you can increase the trade. That is how I trade it. So overall, Bitcoin done. Let's look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is a bit more different. It isn't as strong. It's actually showing a bit of weakness for once. Ethereum has been a bit of a catalyst, of a driver of the forces. And as you can see here, I think we've formed a potential toppage as well at this level. Now, obviously we've got up here. This is obviously risky business because we've not formed a high. We have, but by literally a skin of its nutsack above here. And we've also just about almost formed a low, potential double tops here. So it's a very much a mixed bag of this one, because I think this is going to be a pop up to this level here where these wicks are, and a potential short down to 310. I think 350 levels is the exciting part we need to be for a potential short on Ethereum, in my opinion. So why do I get this analysis? If you go from this top level here down to this level, it's perfect confluence between that support level, which has obviously flipped into now resistance. I think between 350 up to about 362 is potential areas where sellers are going to be. However, as I say, go with caution because this hasn't realistically, just about, not yet, not confirmed, formed a proper low yet. As you can see, this is obviously lower than this, so it's potentially a trend, but it could also be a double bottom, so just be careful with that. Make sure it is, I personally think, safest way to go is wait for it to go into these regions. If that is the case, it's going to start forming a little bit of a reversal sign if it doesn't get beyond this, but a tight stop loss will be required on this one because it could, realistically, if this is a double bottom and it is showing a lower high, higher low, sorry, we could actually go and break structure and try and go beyond this level here. If it does that, cool, but it will definitely, in my opinion, retest this level if that is the case. And it could create a bit of well, an even better place for you to hit the short button. So you might need a really, really wide stop loss on this one if you are going to look at it, where you're looking at over here for potential stop losses. Personally, I think, you know, this could as well be showing a sign of toastage. Looking at the RSI and stuff like that, it just looks incredibly weak. But, you know, we'll just see what happens with that one. Again, it's a risk. This one, in my opinion, is probably the most riskier one. But if it does show sign of weakness around 350 and it does have bearish pressure going in, it could be a really good shot from that level down to here, which would be a nice risk reward. But if you do zoom out as well, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest to see a weekly level of 150 at some point if it does go really bearish in terms of the crypto space. And finally, let's move on to XRP. This is the one that I have orders in. The orders haven't hit yet at all. Personally, this is the one with the most clear, concise structure. Why? We've got lower highs, boom. We've also got lower low here, happy days, which is what we wanted. I wanted an order in up to about 24.3 cents, up into these regions where the EMAs are. I'm nowhere near yet, so I'm waiting for that to happen. This, again, is a huge monster trade. This is a 6.16 risk reward. I've made it really tight on the stop losses, i.e. EMA is going to fight that, hopefully. If I need to, I can move it up a little bit if I so wish to, if the market totally starts to change. But this essentially is resistance, and obviously that is a structure break. So we'll see what happens overall. But it's formed a lower low, so the probability is on more on my side at the moment. But that is if my orders actually hit. So that could be a monster trade there as a potential short. So overall analysis done. Simple, concise stuff. Daily time frame sort of stuff. Easy peasy. This is a continuation of a trend in my opinion. I would love to get up a little bit and get into this because I do think we are going to go back down to 17 cents. I know some people don't want to hear that, but that is a definite area. If not 19 cents, if not maybe 20 cents, who knows. But you can see where the structure levels are. XRP, in my opinion, is very, very easy to read. I think because it has formed a formation of lows across the board, obviously it's looking quite interesting. Even when we're looking at the RSI and you're thinking, well, there's a bit of hope here. Well, actually there isn't. Even though like this level here, it's lower, we've not even pulled up yet. It's not even a divergence yet. It's still level. So I'm expecting a push up with that in mind to the resistance level and then probably a melt. But overall market sentiment is required. If Bitcoin is going to go and test 12k levels to try and see if it can break that structure, cool. This will be pulled up a little bit, but whether it goes up as high, who knows. So subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this sort of stuff. Obviously leave a like. I'm looking to do this sort of thing once a week, by the way, just as a bit of a nice little change from doing analysis of like other random coins. Overall market analysis so people can make a bearing on it, hopefully learn as well. So as I say, subscribe, bell button, like, comment, all kinds of good stuff. See you again tomorrow.